Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to take a minute to send out my deepest condolences to each and every family that has been affected due to the heavy flood from the rain that happened day before yesterday. I realized some people had lost some people to the flood. Some kids were drowned, and it really hurts. Honestly, I feel their pain, and I just want to extend my deepest condolence. Please take heart. And to everyone who might have lost a property or something valuable, anything at all, to the flood, I am sorry. Take heart. I don't even know what to say because it's a big trigger for me. Flood. I've been a victim of flood. When it comes to encountering losses, it's been quite a struggle. In fact, it was one of the beginning of my. It was one of the losses that really brought me down. Like, my life right now is like starting life afresh thanks to the flood that happened in 2022. I'm a farmer, I'm a fish farmer. And in Delta State in Asaba we have these earthen ponds. I was very passionate about fish farming. It was really one of the things I usually enjoyed doing, feeding those, catfish, watching them do others. It was therapeutic to watch. So imagine every day you wake up, you go do your thing, go your school rounds, go to the gym, go do your deliveries, and then hit the farm to go feed your babies, like I used to call them. Every day, it was a routine. It was part of my everyday life until the flood happened in 2022, and I lost 8 of my fish ponds. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 earthen ponds that had ready to be harvested fishes inside. And none of the ponds had less than 3,000. Some had 1,000, like the heteros and the hybrids, because of the sizes, of course. And the ponds were really large earthen ponds. And we spent so much money flood proofing, because the earthen ponds, they are dug inside. So you have to climb inside and you're not going to see your head. That is how deep it is. So now, when the flood was coming, we had to have all those bags of sand, fill up those cement bags, use them use them to build steps round the ponds. And then we had this bamboo trees, and then we had to raise, more like extending it, building upstairs, so that even if the flood, came, even if the flood affected the ponds, at least you won't lose your fishes, right? Because from the height, you'll be able to, since you've raised it up, the bags of sand and all that would prevent the fishes from swimming away, right? That was what we thought. But when they say water no get enemy, I can't relate, because it felt like water was an enemy. People lost their lives, people lost their houses, people lost their businesses, people lost a lot of things to the flood. You know, it was a huge loss for a lot of us. Personally, I haven't recovered from that loss. I lost millions of my business money. Millions. When I say millions, I mean millions. I haven't recovered yet. If flood didn't happen, Abuna wouldn't be broke today. So when it comes to flood and losses to flood, I can totally relate. I know the pain when you lose things, valuable things, to the flood. So I'm really sorry to everyone affected by the flood. Take heart, you're gonna be fine. I hope. You just have to start all over. As long as there is still life, there is hope, right? So you can start somewhere. Just anyway, count your losses and move on. Don't dwell on the things you lost because they're not going to come back. That's the truth. You just have to find a way to deal with it and, console yourself that you're alive at least. So you can always try again. So please, I know it's not easy. It's not a good time for anybody to encounter such losses. So I'm sorry. Take heart and be strong and try again. That's all I can say because that was what I did. I didn't have any choice, and watching the videos brought back, the trauma hit all over again. Because these things could be avoided, right? But they were not avoided. And then when they happened, sometimes you would expect that, oh, there could be some kind of compensation, maybe from the government. There was nothing, not even some kind of words of encouragement by the government. Then we only had false promises from some governors, and if it was a false promise, I don't know if they fulfilled it, and some wicked, selfish individuals chose to, corner the funds for themselves. I don't know, but the only thing I know was that we weren't compensated for the losses we encountered during the flood. I saw this video of my president, Mahama, visiting addressing the spots, I think around Malam, where the floods affected. And I was like, look at that. The president came out to at least check out what happened and talk about it. We didn't even see any state governor visit people, the areas that were affected. People couldn't get into their houses. People were using canoe to go to the ones living upstairs. You use canoe and get into your compound and swim into the stairs, and then you climb upstairs. Luckily, the water didn't get to their flats. The ones that were downstairs, water flooded everything. And no, that is not all. I sell dried fish, this Thailand dried fish. There was also a time flood happened in Lagos and our warehouse. Water finished hundreds of cartons of dried fish. One carton of this dried fish cost about, when it happened, it cost about 130,000 naira, 140,000 naira. That's about 1,300 or 1,400 Ghana cedis for a carton. So imagine how many cartons I lost during that flood in Lagos, which isn't even to, it was just 2023 here. So some of us have really had our fair share of losses when it comes to the flood. So we can relate to the pain of the people who are victims of this flood. Take hearts and be strong and just try to start all over. It's not going to be easy, I promise you. Replacing valuable things you've lost is not going to be easy. I haven't been able to replace a whole lot of things, trust me. I don't know how long it's going to take me to be able to replace them, but you just take each day as it comes and face the life that it has to go on. You have people that are your responsibility, so you don't really have time to sit down and be crying over spilled milk, right? You just have to look for a way to get another glass or another jug and pour another milk, which is all we're trying to do. So please take heart and be strong and try again. That's all I can say. And may the souls of the innocent ones who lost their lives rest in peace. And thank you, Mr. President, for visiting at least addressing it. It shows concern. It shows that someone has empathy. Their president of Nigeria didn't bother. It's not his problem. And that particular one was even because of the Kainji Dam, which they failed to handle their own part of the deal to keep the, spillage safe for citizens in the country. Now, we have to take responsibilities in Accra, especially. Number one, individuals really, really have to take responsibility and not blame the government for everything. Because if you go to a lot of places that even have gutters, they fill these gutters with rubbishes, waste, and you just wonder. Gutters are supposed to be drainage. They're supposed to be water passage to somewhere, right? So imagine if you use things, dirt, nylon, rubbers, waste to block all these passages. Where do you want the water to pass? Water has to enter wherever it sees a space, because water is selfish. Water gets what it wants. So if you don't give way for the water to pass and mind its business when it's going somewhere, it will pass through you. It is a natural phenomenon. So we have to start by keeping the environment clean. Keep Accra clean. Stop dropping wastes on the gutters, on the roads, everywhere, littering the compound with waste baggages. No, stop it. We have to stop it. The government is not going to come do that for us. We, as the individuals, as the citizens, have to start taking responsibility to prevent these type of damages to be happening. If you finish drinking your sachet water, trash it into the waste bin. If you finish eating that takeaway you bought, trash in a waste bin. Don't drop it on the road. Don't drop it on the gutters. Don't go, you're selling foodstuffs by the road, and all the nyama that you are removing from you're pouring it into the gutters in front of your shop. Where do you expect those things to go to when the heavy rain happens? They're definitely going to gather everything and block the waterways. So you have to start by not littering your environment. When you keep your environment clean, at least the gutters will be kept clean. Let me tell you something that they used to do in Akonville. They do in Akonville, where I live in Benin Republic. Cotonou, in fact, every part of Benin Republic. You don't litter the environment. You don't try it. You don't drink pure water and drop it on the road. No. Benin Republic is one of the neatest They have one of the neatest streets in the whole of West Africa. I am not kidding you. There are drainage systems, and you dare not build just where you like. Every Saturday morning, they come open the gutters, and they don't leave the gutters open. They have all those, what do they call those things they used to close, drop on top? Those blocks. I mean, what are they? What do they call those things that you use on top of the gutters to cover it so people can also, use it as walkways? Yes, they lift it out, they clean the gutters, and they cover it back every Saturday. I am not kidding you. They have people that are assigned to do that. Every night, they sweep. There are people that sweep the major roads. Now, your street, everybody sweeps their streets. If your compound is here, if it's early morning, you see someone. If you're going to school, you see someone sweeping their frontage, pack it and put in the waste bin. The neatness helped. You can't hear all those flood stories because the citizens took it upon themselves to play their own roles. We can also do it. That is why I always have so much respect, and God knows I am waiting so badly for something. That is one important thing I'm waiting for, so I can really pay a visit to the bastard boys. Those boys, I was in Benin Republic when I reacted to their video. They cleaned these drainages, they cleaned these gutters, and they took it upon themselves to do these things. Young guys. What do you think would have happened if they were not cleaning all those drainages, all those gutters? The flood would have been really worse. So please, shout out to the bastard boys once again. You are doing amazing, amazing jobs. I am sure the places these guys have cleaned, I'm not sure they are flooded. Because when you clean the water passage, the water flows. When the gutters are filled and blocked, that is where the water floods. So we really have to stop messing up the environment. We have that work to do in Ghana. I have noticed it 1,001 times. So many places people don't care. They just litter everything. They litter the environment. They think they are doing the government. Do you think the presidential house is flooded? You as an individual, you have to play your own part so that when it happens, you can now have the guts to really hold the government and the brokers and reek. But when you come and drop all those takeaway packs, all those files, all those what is it called? Pure water sachets, all those rubbers, you have containers, water bottle, everything, you litter the environment. Food you pour in the gutters, you block the drainage system. You don't have the right to shout. You don't have the right to complain when it happens, when the flood hits. You don't have the right to blame the government. That is one for the individuals. Now, secondly, real estate people, come closer. We know you like to make money. We know you want to develop. You want to really please. Don't build on waterways. Because when you go and build the places that water is supposed to pass, when they are the floodways, where the water is supposed to pass, you go and block it with your fine mansion. What do you think will happen when it rains? When it rains heavily, the water will still pass. It is nine right be that. You go one passing road. If you don't see in road pass, you go pass anywhere when you see. That is where we encounter losses. That is where we encounter all these damages. Real estate people, you can do better. And if you want to buy a land, before you build, at least you check. I thought they do all those housing, whatever. They need to check with the government has to check if where you are buying the land to build, if it's on the waterway or stuff like that, so that you don't go blocking the water. So we really need to do better as citizens. Everything is not supposed to be government. Please, my Ghanaians, we need to do that particular one. You see that littering of environment and building, everybody wants to build. You see fine houses, fine estates, and they are all flooded now because there are no waterways. All the houses, they've built them on top of the floodgates. So what do you expect? I see some of the locations I would have even rented houses where I'm looking for quiet environment. I see the flood, the way it's affecting them, and I'm just here, just wondering, what if I had rented those things? I would have just died, because if I should stay and water enter my house and soak the small things I'm managing like that, Charlie, it go bloody. I no sure say I go fit survive am, because the trauma of losing my 8 ponds to the flood is still fresh, like it happened this morning. And when I see this news of flood everywhere, the trigger is deep. So please, let's do better. Once again, I'm so sorry to everyone that has been affected by this incident of flood. And I hope you find help. I hope you get back on your feet. I hope you're able to replace whatever you've lost. And I hope the people will take it upon themselves to at least play their own parts and keep the city of Accra clean, keep the gutters free and clean, so that the water can see where to pass to, where it's supposed to go to when it rains heavily. Thank you for watching my rant video. I'll see you guys in the next video.